Don't you hate it when you learn something new and immediately get distracted? You don't understand why you think about achieving something for so long and do nothing about it for years. You see so many other people that seem to learn new skills immediately and wonder if it's just something you're born with. But I'm going to bring you in on a little secret that they do not want you to know about. And it could change your life by the end of this video. I haven't always been somebody who's interested in learning. When I was in school, I would do anything in my power to not learn, to get out of tests and homework, and would find any excuse not to try. And any time I was actually excited to learn something new, I would do it for a few days and then end up exactly where I was before, playing video games and wondering why I can't get anything done with my life. But now I'm growing businesses, I'm a successful music artist, and I'm making this YouTube channel, and I'm doing 1,000 and other things at the same time. So if I can do it using this method, you definitely can too, and we can both boost our productivity massively. So how do we do this? Well, step one is something that is called meta-learning. Meta-learning is basically learning about learning, which sounds ridiculous, but it does work. The author Scott Young with the book Ultra Learning is a testament to this. He managed to complete the MIT Computer Science course, which is a 4-year course in under a year, which is ridiculous. So how do we do meta-learning? The simple idea is, whatever subject you want to learn, before you start getting into books, before you start getting into research, you need to figure out what things in this subject could be pitfalls for you to make you become unmotivated and quit. For example, being a YouTuber, some things that you should probably know before you get started on this journey is how to video edit, how to public speak, and how to write good scripts. Because if you don't do this stuff, no one's going to watch your videos and you're going to get demotivated immediately in your journey. According to Scott Young, you should spend 10% of your overall learning time on this meta-learning because it's so powerful. It could be the difference between you succeeding and you failing. And the more of the foundations you know before you go into it, the more likely you are of actually succeeding in learning this new skill or knowledge. So now that you understand what meta-learning is, we can get into the Oh, okay. You're on your phone again. Oh, I didn't realize you had to catch up on those emails. Oh, and you can't forget about that TV show that you promised yourself you were going to watch. So now, we've got to talk about procrastination. How do we break the habit of procrastination? So many of us want to learn new things, but somehow end up back in the same place we were at the start of the day, on our phones, watching TV, playing video games, whatever it may be. You seem like you're stuck in this endless cycle of never getting anything done, even though you really want to. It might not be your fault. Science has shown that learning is stressful on the brain. It hits the same stress points that pain causes. So technically, learning is painful. So in your subconscious, your brain associates learning with pain and doesn't want you to do it. So anxiety arises, and that's what procrastination is your brain stopping you from hurting yourself. But your brain can't distinguish pain, so it doesn't know that learning's actually good for you. So the way we need to break this is just to get started. It's also been shown the anxiety and the stress that your brain produces to make you not do that task goes away almost completely soon as you start the task. My favorite process to get out of this anxiety habit is the 5-minute rule, which means you convince yourself that you're only gonna do a task for 5 minutes. And after that 5 minutes, you can stop, no judgment. But most of the time, as soon as you break the anxiety of starting, you actually go for a lot longer than 5 minutes. And that is great when you're trying to learn as quickly as possible. So now that we've broken procrastination, now that your meta-learning has come in handy, we need to start drilling that knowledge into you. Science has proven again and again that machines can beat humans at games mostly all the time. But there was this one game that the computers can never beat humans at, which was called Montezuma's Revenge. It's one of those games where rewards are scarce and you don't really know you've won until the end. Because of the way that these algorithms are set up, they need constant rewards to make sure that they're on the right track. And so because they weren't getting any of these rewards, they never knew what to do and they would always lose to humans. So what the researchers did was they changed the algorithm to seek out novelty instead of rewards. Whenever anything new happened, the computer responded to that instead of seeking out the rewards. A good way to do this is when you're learning something, try to make conclusions about what you're learning in your head, and then try to either prove or disprove what you just created. This gives you endless dopamine and makes you motivated to learn continuously, because if you are correct with your conclusion, it means that you get that hit of dopamine with the satisfaction that you are right, and it strives you to keep moving forward. But if you get it wrong, this is surprising, and you learn what you didn't know before, and this is a great reward because you're actually learning something new, and it keeps the process going. Another way to make sure you're learning at optimal potential is you've got to balance how hard the thing you are learning is. So, for example, say you want to learn how to play chess. If you played against Magnus Carlsen on your first game, he's just going to smash you into the ground, so you're not going to learn anything. You're just going to get demotivated and not want to do it anymore. But then on the other side of the spectrum, say you play against a 5-year-old, you'll probably have an easy time beating them because they don't know the rules and they don't know what's going on, so you won't learn anything either. What you should be focusing on is learning at the same level as what you're learning now, or even better, slightly harder, because you will understand what you're learning and you'll learn a lot more efficiently. Now, the final step in retaining all of this knowledge that you've just learned is by recalling it. So say you needed to go on stage right now and teach somebody exactly what you've been learning for the past week, month, day. Would you be able to do it? Are there gaps in your knowledge that you're not particularly sure about? And would you fluff through it if you actually had to teach it to somebody? If so, you need to go back and refine these weaknesses, because that is the quickest way to learn something. It's great learning about stuff that you're really comfortable in, but the real growth comes from learning the stuff you don't actually know about. And obviously, nobody is going to force you to go up on stage and present something that you don't know about. So a good way to get around this is get rid of the books, get rid of the YouTube videos, get rid of whatever research you're looking at, and try to explain what you've just learned back to yourself. If you can do it to a good level, in good detail, and you understand everything you're saying, you're probably on the right track to learning. But if there are bits that you don't know and bits you're fluffing out, then it's probably a good idea to go back and actually figure out the parts you're missing in your knowledge. And that way you can learn something so much quicker. If you followed this all the way to the end, then now you should have no trouble learning anything in the future. I want to challenge you to try and learn something new this week. It doesn't have to be anything complicated, but learn something that either you wanted to know or something completely new to you, and leave a comment of what you've achieved in that week, because I would love to hear it. If you've liked this video and you like the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And if you want to support the channel, go to my Buy Me a Coffee link and give a helpful donation, because it helps me create better YouTube videos for you guys. Anyway, thank you for watching, and take one step a day towards your goals.